Good morning. How y'all doing today? I'm a little bummed. Like, Lincoln was hanging out with me, and then he decided to go upstairs. So, no Lincoln. Sad. We had a fun morning, though. We went to the park, played around. It's rare that he plays. He likes to run, but he doesn't like to play a lot. So, that was kind of a nice little start to the day. So, that was cool. How y'all doing? I need to finish brewing my tea, or my tea is finished brewing. A moment. It's hot. Oh. So have y'all seen Arcs? What'd y'all think? I thought it was pretty good. It's hot. All right, there we go. Oh, okay. Thanks, Robert. I'll go do that. All right. Yeah, but I mean, I figure everybody knows what it is. No, the link, like, go to YouTube. You're right. All right. There. Okay. But I appreciate it, Robert. That's fixed. All right. Let's see. What do we got? Will I be making any videos of games I'm looking forward to, Gen Con and Eschen Spiel? Yes, Espen, I will. Uh-huh. Oh, God, these are filthy. Surprised I can see out of them. Well, now I can't see anything. So here, temporary glasses while I clean the other glasses. Oh, glad y'all like the haircut. It is hot outside. I mean, I ain't telling y'all anything you don't know, but it is stupid hot. This cooled it off, what, like 10 degrees? Like, yeah, oh my God, so much better. So 2 days ago, I got the haircut. And I went and played poker that day. It was my Monday, right? Today's Wednesday, right? I'm telling you, the ARCS marathon day threw me totally off. On Monday, I thought it was Tuesday. Tuesday, I thought it was Wednesday. Wednesday, I thought it was Tuesday. Just saying. Totally. Anyway, got the haircut on Monday, and man, it's true that a good haircut will make you feel good. Like I was just in a great mood, and the poker showed that. So yeah, just goes to show. Something Jess has told me for years and years. Let's see, is that better? Yeah, it's better. That fake it till you make it, and like your brain's stupid. Like it'll believe what you tell it. I'm in a good mood, so therefore I'm in a good mood, right? Anyway, yeah, Monday crushed. Lost a $1,400 double board bomb pot and still won over $1,100 at 1-3. I got 2 outed on the river on the bomb pot. So yeah, so Monday was a good day. So I'm glad y'all liked the new cut. That was good. Let's see. Elk of Legend says ARCS was great, entertaining to watch, and now I know that I don't have to buy it. Watching is great, but trick takers are just not my thing. All right, fair enough. Then you know what? A, saved you a bunch of money, and B, you can reinvest that somewhere else in a game that you would enjoy, or multiple games. So that's cool. Welcome, Tabletop Games Blog. Just wondering what your thoughts are about Epos against this game. Don't know. We did the unboxing, haven't played it yet. That's going to happen this weekend. But we're streaming it on the 24th. Yeah. So you know what? Since you brought up Epos Tabletop, I will give you all kind of a rough rundown of things you can anticipate here on the channel in the coming few weeks. Like, it's not that much. We're not looking too far out for all of these things, all right? So, in no particular order, the only 2, I'm looking at my schedule here, there are only 2 that have hard dates. Struggle of Empires, July 20th. Mark your calendars. Epos, July 24th. Then we're going to be doing a 2-player Pagan sometime next week. Pax Porfiriana is coming soon. Coffee Traders with the expansion coming soon. Liberty or Death soon. Another ARCS campaign, not all in one day. Oath, Age of Industry, Power Grid, Cascadero, which I hate. And Distilled, Age of Steam, Spirit Island. Yeah. All right. There you go. That's kind of... There may be other things interspersed in and around all those things, but that is the majority of the content over the next 2-3 weeks. 4 weeks. Let's see. Yeah, 4 weeks. That feels right. Yeah, I like that. Just realized I should be doing it this way. There we go. All right, let me catch back up. Let's see. Jakob, you're a sicko, says, the ARC stream was great. If you set up that High Frontier stream we talked about at HeavyCon, I'll be up for playing ARC's campaign the following day. No. Marcus says, I've really enjoyed your Weimar playthroughs. What a fantastic game. Will I do more of it? Yeah, we might. I know there's folks that haven't played it within the Heavy Cardboard crew that want to, so we may mix and match and mix that up. But yeah, I could definitely see Weimar being something that gets some more run. Cheers. Ah, it's hot. It's good though. Oh no. Rocky says we're getting the leftover hurricane weather. It's practically flooding outside. Where are you again, Rocky? I forget. We're supposed to be getting some of it. I mean, we're in Boston. It hit in Texas. So, let's see. Like, I'm sorry for those that have been inundated with it. But yeah, no. Even saying that we're going to get some of it is kind of doing a disservice to y'all. Hot, humid, and rainy and thunderstorms. The end. All right. So, ignore I said anything. I hope you're safe, Rocky. Chip says Arx was fabulous. Hoping for more. Maybe a 2-player base leaders and lore stream. That could happen. I'm not super motivated to do a 2-player Arc stream, to be honest with you, because it just doesn't appeal. But if there's demand for it, like if y'all want to see that, I appreciate that you do, Chip, and I'm not diminishing your importance here. Just saying, if there's demand for it, that's something we could do, but it's not something I'm clamoring for. Dusty says, waiting not so patiently on Napoleon to show up. What's my next solo war game? D-Day at Omaha Beach? Napoleon. Which one? Now I need to go look that up. Give me a second. It's also a rock band, for those that don't know. Yeah, like, it's a Ted Racier game, so there's that. But man, I just struggle. There are certain, and I've mentioned this in numerous times, there are certain periods of history that I just struggle to get into, and Napoleonics is really one of those for me. It's a solitaire historical role-playing card game in which you step into the boots of Captain Bonaparte, as he still was in the year 1793. Okay, hold on. Louis XVI has just gone to the guillotine, and the brothers Robespierre control the destiny of France, and all Europe has joined French royalists to take down France and the revolution and restore peace and safety for their hereditary principles that have underlined society for 1,000 years. As an ambitious but unknown young artillery officer who speaks French with a Corsican accent, you would seem to be an unlikely agent of destiny. Can you harness a brilliant mind, titanic energies, and a sometimes terrifying charisma to leave your mark on history? Or will you die a minor footnote in the story of France? Damn it, now I'm interested. Okay, that might be the end to me doing Napoleonics. All right, Dusty, I blame you on this one. And hey, look at that. It's a GMT game. All right. Where is it in the process, Dusty? How far along in the P500 is that? Whoo, Chris. Chris says, for about a month, I haven't had caffeine yet. Oh. Check that. He's talking about lack of rain. Okay. Sorry. Carry on. Espen and Jakob always asking about High Frontier for All. That is entirely possible that we may do another 3-player stream of it. May. Are we planning on doing Crescent Moon again? Do we have to? But again, if folks are clamoring for it, we can do it. But of the 4 people that played it, everyone's willing to do it again. No one wants to do it again. That's, I think, a fair take on Crescent Moon. On our take on Crescent Moon. And he plans on doing another stream of PAX Premiere 2nd edition, Tyler asks. It wasn't. But again, like, demand drives things. I mean, obviously, what we want to play, as well as anything I've agreed to do sponsored-wise. And then, honestly, what y'all want. So, if it's one person asking, If it's 100 people asking, sure. Have I played enough ARCs to say which I prefer, ARCs or Oath? No, not yet. I will say I definitely like ARCs far more than I do Root, though. Up in Michigan, Rocky. Okay, fair enough. Morning, Alyssa. All right, so 2 people want to see a 2-player ARC stream. Noted. I see you, Josh. Charged and shipping, Dusty says. All right. Yeah. Maybe Napoleon could happen. Fernando says, oh, so HC makes us spend money on games, but we also make HC spend money on games. No, I just sent an email. But, yeah, there's that. That's fair. Yes, Fernando. You are a unicorn, Jakob. He says, High Frontier, I'll come visit. High Frontier on day 1. ARC's campaign on day 2. And 1822 Canada on day 3. Don't have the stamina for that, sir. I appreciate it, though, Bob. Thank you. Railways of the Lost Atlas. Is there any way that gets a stream? I mean, it's in the group. I know John has it. Border Reavers is also downstairs. That's another one. let's put it this way. For GMT games, the number one priority for us is Liberty or Death. Now, I don't think too many people are going to be upset at what I'm about to tell y'all. And I think I may have said this publicly. I can't remember. Is that we were back in late May, early June. We were shooting to make a July 4th Liberty or Death stream. And because, duh. And that was the plan. But unfortunately, we weren't able to, we got one pre-play, a partial pre-play of Liberty or Death in, and we couldn't schedule, get everybody together for another pre-play of Liberty or Death that I fully agree, or I insisted, I should say, that we needed before we streamed it. So we had to table that. So unfortunately, we missed that window. That was a bummer. That would have been cool. Unfortunately. But in lieu of that, July 4th was spent doing a pre-play, and by a pre-play, I mean all 3 games of the ARCS campaign. And then on the 6th, obviously, we did the public ARCS campaign. So there's that. But Liberty or Death is the next GMT. Nin for me says the tone of the table for ArcStream was almost joyous. Yeah, we really enjoyed it. So at the very end, if y'all haven't seen, Kyle seemed, at least to me, I thought he was pissed off. I really did. And come to find out he wasn't. He was just in his head trying to do, like, planning out. And so I rewatched the very end of it, and I was like, I hope people don't think he was. No, he wasn't. Not at all. Yeah, we all really enjoyed it. Exhausting, for sure, but really, really good. On says, oh, I remember the question. You played Oath, you played Arcs, you played Root. Will you ever try Vast? No, I've never played it. I'm just not interested in it. And I feel like Vast has been superseded by the other games that have come out since. So I have no interest in going back. Yeah, no, I just don't. I don't see that happening on. Derek says, any interest in the Irregular Conflict series, the games that have been released so far? Vijay Nagara and Guest. Is it Guest or Jest? I see it, and it feels like it should be Jest. It could be Guest. I don't know of Robin Hood. Yes. Let's put it this way. Put the ball out in GMT's court. I'm trying. Well, Joe, I just answered your question about that. So that's good. About next coin. Chris says, for someone that isn't really a cold game guy, totally reasonable. Root's not my jam. John Company, events ruin it for me. Events are a pain in the butt. Not going to lie. They are a thorn in my side for sure in that game. Do you think I'd like Arcs? All right, Chris, let me ask you this. Do you like trick taking? I mean, it's the core mechanism, but the tempo of a trick taking game is where this comes in. Do you like those aspects of trick taking? Do you mind conflict? And how do you feel about negotiation? Now, that last question, the negotiation, that comes in more in the campaign than it does in a base game with or without leaders and lore. By the way, Arcs is still right here on the table, exactly where we left it. I haven't touched it. Yeah, if I'm not just kind of chilling or doing behind the scenes stuff for the show, I've been playing poker. That's it. So yeah, this is still here. I think if you like those things, I think I would recommend giving Arcs a try. Even if you don't like, I'm not really a huge fan of Root. I have zero interest in going back and playing Root. I enjoy a lot of other Cole games, though, to be fair. But Arcs definitely appeals to me, even though Root really doesn't. So maybe that helps. And I mean, honestly, go watch the standalone, the base game with leaders and lore. Go watch that and see if that appeals to you. That's, I think, a really true, fair representation of the base game. And it's funny, like, I've read and responded to most, but I've read all the comments that have been left on the Arcs videos. And there are some people that have played the campaign far more than we have. And some of the comments just strike me as, I don't know, like our game wasn't representative of their games. Like one guy commented that he's done a 2-player campaign and ours was way different. Well, no kidding, it was 4. Or that we were really passive and we weren't doing a whole lot of fighting each other. But if you follow along with, well, take a look in game 3, but I think the fates play a huge part in that, huge, massive part in that. And I think the way our fates played out, it made sense. The way the game played out, or the campaign played out. So yeah, I would definitely say go watch the standalone and see if that tickles your fancy, and if so, then sure. But if the answer is no on the trick taking and the tempo and the it's not important to win a trick until it is aspect, as well as the considerable confrontation that is in conflict in this game. I mean, it is in the name, right? But if those don't, now, I mean, keep in mind, Fowler played Arcs, and while it wasn't really his jam, he definitely enjoyed it more than he thought he would. So that, again, and he's not a conflict guy. Any thoughts on the 1830 BC reprint? I thought the game was fine, but let's face it, it's the aura of Splotter. Whatever they make or whatever they do is going to sell at this point. And they've earned that. But it's fine. I mean, there's a reason the big 5 were the big 5 for Splotter. So Indonesia, Roads and Boats, Antiquity, Great Zimbabwe, and Food Chain, and I would argue Horseless Carriage now. And the funny thing is, I don't think Bus holds a candle to those 6, but a lot of people really love Bus, so now it's the big 7. Will never crack that. So, like hierarchy there, it's never going to do that. I mean, individually, may the occasional person, I guess, but yeah, is not going to, it's fine. But do you need to go out and rush and get it? If you're a Splotter collector, okay, I get it, but otherwise, no. And I think the guys would agree with. EB Sumaru 77. Thanks for all the Arcs content. You're welcome. Thanks for watching it. It's been a major help in learning the game. That makes me feel good. Thank you. Also, are you guys from Mass? I grew up in Reading. I got my haircut in Reading yesterday or 2 days ago. I go grocery shopping in Reading. Yeah, I'm in Wakefield. So yeah. Fowler's about 7 minutes south of here. Derek is about a 2-block walk from here. It's, yeah. It's a little bit more than 2 blocks, but whatever. Yes. Where are you now, EB? Derek says, ooh, Border Reavers is great. Got to play that BGG Spring. It's a very cute, very cool war Euro. Awesome. Yay. I told, John left it here and I told him I'd learn it. But Liberty or Death is the next GMT. Just FYI. The exception to that is either we revisit Twilight Struggle or Ken and I get Imperial Struggle going. That's the exception to that, maybe. But that's all. That's awesome, Bob. Bob says, my 16-year-old and I did a Liberty or Death marathon on July 4th. 3 times through, damn whippersnapper beat the old man 3 times. I was smiling through the tears. Raising them right there, Bob. Oh, On's upset at me. I missed this question. Or like I didn't answer it. Okay, let's see. Or will I ever try Vast? I'm more interested in the trading card, the TCC. What is trading card, right? I don't know what TCC means. I'm sorry, because I don't think it's Tarrant County College. So unpack it, On. That's awesome. Nin says we watched the stream in the car on the drive to San Diego. That's nice. Well, just drive safely. Alyssa says, having played Vast, I don't think you'd enjoy it, Edward. All right, noted. Man, that sucks. Fernando says, Arcs, I think it came across that you all were very tired, but everyone loved the game. Like both things were very visible on everyone's faces. Well, that sucks. I didn't think we were that bad. Like, God. Okay. Give me a complex. So we'll never do that again, Fernando. Noted. All right. Steven says, yep, jest. So, okay, jest. Yeah. For Robin Hood. All right. Thank you. Have I ever played any TTRPGs? Yes. Played D&D. I played Rifts back in the day. Rifts was cool, but never got like hardcore into it. I didn't have a group for it. Nikhil asks, any interest in the levy and campaign stuff? Nevsky, Almoravid, etc. I'd love to see the HC treatment, but understand that you get a lot on your plate. Let's put it this way. If there's demand for it and GMT wants us to. As of right now, GMT doesn't want us to do anything. You follow my meaning. So we'll see. Will we? Maybe. Am I clamoring for it? No. I know nothing about this, Franny. She asks, will HC cover Night Shift, the game about exotic dancers? Would it have to be a patron-only stream due to the theme? Let me start there. No. It's exotic dancing. It's not hooking. You know, like, that's fine. What are people's thoughts on more adult themes in games? Depends how it's treated. I know nothing about it. I'm looking it up now. Self-published. Like, it's a thematic board game that immerses players in the role of a strip club dancer. The customer stories and gameplay are inspired by the creator's personal experience working as a stripper, providing an authentic and empowering take on this often misunderstood profession. See now I'm hooked in. Because, like, I can't imagine, like, if it's being told from the exotic dancer's standpoint and having to deal with the drunks and just the entitled businessmen or whoever. Oh, hell yeah, that's interesting to me. Players use action points to navigate the club and discover new customers. Each customer is unique, has variable wealth and loyalty, as well as a diverse range of potential outcomes. Some of them will have a preference for one particular dancer. Choose your customers wisely. Engaging with the customer involves rolling dice combined with players' abilities, power cards. Potentially a few drinks will determine the outcome. I mean, look, I'm down for investigating unique themes. I have no qualms with that, but maybe I'll give it a try. Like if we get a copy, I'll give it a try and see if it's worthy. If it's not worth our time, not necessarily because of the theme, but just because the game just isn't good, then that's one thing. But no, I have zero qualms with the theme. Yeah, I'm totally down to try it, Franny, for sure. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it then, Chris. Says, read the ARC's discussion and trick-taking confrontation negotiation. I'm making the Denver Herd group play a Game of Thrones second edition, followed by Le Plateau on game night this week. So, yeah, okay, I think you'll enjoy ARCs. Chris says, to me, John Company has been the most interesting Cole game to watch you stream. All right. Rocky asks, what happened to marbles on Twitch? Not worth the squeeze? Nobody watches on Twitch. Okay, there's 5 of y'all. Please, I'm not saying you're nothing. I apologize. But I'm just saying. Just the views on Twitch just aren't there. So, I mean, if y'all want to do marbles, we can do marbles when we're done here. Just saying. We could do that. Oh, TCC is the vast crystal caverns, not trading. I am dumb. Thank you, Adam and Elk. I appreciate that. JT asks, which maps for Age of Steam are in the stream pipe? It doesn't work that way for Age of Steam. I'll explain in a minute. Love to see Tokyo 23 Ward. That looks weird and brutal. I don't know that one. Tokyo 23 Ward. My guess is I know why I haven't heard of it. Yeah, it's a print and play, isn't it? It's not saying it's not a real map, but is it a hero design? Like, John may have printed it, but not a priority right now. And how Age of Steam maps work is based on player count. We get the players, then figure out, okay, what maps haven't we streamed? What one do we want to stream? It works the opposite direction. All right, Evie's in Maryland now. Okay. EB, there's an ice cream place in Reading called Dandelions. That's the go-to place now. Places constantly has a line. It's amazing and really good ice cream. So very cool. Yeah, we're circling back to Night Shift. Felt like a cheap theme to attract attention. That was my first thought. But the fact that it was Franny that brought it up made me think she wouldn't do that. Like, no. And then, yeah, the fact that it's told from the point of view of the dancers and not the other way around. Yeah, I am definitely intrigued. Definitely intrigued by that. Cave Evil. We got to try it first, Mike. It's sitting right there. I'm just saying, it's like we have to try it to see whether or not we're going to actually stream it. I like that. Marcus says he just picked up Weimar, and it's taken him so long to learn because I get stuck Googling names, dates, and events to learn more about the history. I dig it. I am right there with you. I don't know if I mentioned this, but since we were getting ready to stream Pex Porfiriana again, or for the patrons a couple weeks back, I started listening. Somebody turned me on to it, and Mike Duncan's Revolutions podcast, which I've known about for years. But he did a series. I think it's season 10. Give me a second. That he did on the Mexican Revolution and the Porfiriana time frame. So I am currently listening to it. And it is season... 9 or 10. It's not 10. Wait. You know what? I'm doing this wrong. Season 9, episode 1 through however long it goes. So it's season 9 in the Revolutions. So I'm actually listening to that. So I get that. So on my way to and from poker sessions, I've been playing a lot at Chasers up in New Hampshire. For a number of reasons. We'll circle back to poker later on. But if y'all want to hear, and probably even if you don't, because I want to talk about it. It's about between a 20 and 40 minute drive, depending on traffic. And I'm listening to the Revolutions podcast on the Porfiriana time frame to be ready to drop knowledge, because Ken mentioned that the events in there and the history of it is so fascinating. So I was like, all right, I'm in. Let's listen to it. So yeah, I'm digging it. By the way, they don't all have to be board game related questions. By the way, have y'all seen what Reese Hines has been doing? Only player in Major League Baseball history with 5 or more extra base hits in his first 2 games. Look, I'm sure he's going to go the way of Aquino, meaning he's going to have a couple of hot weeks and then probably fade, because he struck out at 44% in AAA. Look, that's not going to play in the majors, but I'm going to enjoy the ride while it lasts. So it's awesome, and I hope I'm wrong. Plus, the dude's 6'4", 240, and is the second fastest dude on the team. How are dudes that big, that fast? Anyway. Moving on. Brianna says, I also thought the trading card thing, Edward. So you're not alone. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you. That's a good point. So I'm curious. Here, let's have a talk about this. Twitch versus YouTube. The fidelity, meaning the compression, is better on Twitch. When I say compression, what I mean is when I send the stream out, okay? I send out one stream, what you're watching right here. It is then taken from a service and then sent to all the places I want it to send. Currently, that's just 2, YouTube and Twitch. Then each of those services compresses it and then provides it at 1080p, which is what I send it out in. Twitch, the compression is better, or less as it were, and so it looks better. Just it looks crisper on Twitch, our streams do. Everything does. YouTube is meant for videos, less for live streaming, which ironically, you would think I would have chosen Twitch back in the day, but whatever. And the fact is we're on both now. But there's obviously, you're used to YouTube. Plus you can schedule things on YouTube. But the big thing is, like, I have YouTube Premium, so I don't get the ads. I know you get ads on both, but, and this is a conscious choice, I intentionally don't run the ads on YouTube during the stream. Beforehand, hey, I'd like to make some money off of YouTube. Before and after, but I do not run any mid-roll. Like, I don't run anything during the streams themselves. Whereas on Twitch, they do. And because we live stream, and because I'm not your typical Twitch streamer in that I'm constantly looking at the screen and this and that, I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking at the game, I'm looking at chat. I'm not looking at, oh, there's an ad coming up on Twitch, I should snooze that. That doesn't happen. But I don't see ads anyway. So my question is that the main difference on why y'all watch on YouTube than Twitch? I'm curious. I mean, because there's, I don't know, 85 of y'all on YouTube and 5 on Twitch. And obviously, we've been doing it on YouTube for 10 years almost. So there's that. I get that. The following's there. But I'm curious as to why. Because it just looks better on Twitch. But ads, I get that. I totally get that. I don't watch. Yeah, I hate ads. So I feel you there. But I also want to be able to pay the bills. I mean, I make like 60, 70 bucks a month on Twitch. YouTube is about 5 times that. It's not a lot. Just so you know, it's not a lot. We need way more subscribers to make any real money on YouTube. It helps. I'm not complaining, but Tristan says you should have a day streaming Amabel's City of Six Moons, and we can all watch you struggle to make sense of that mystery. There's another one I don't know. City of Six Moons. All right, hold on. I mean, obviously a Hollandspiel. Oh, God, that's the language one, isn't it? Oh, hell nah. Yeah, I say hell nah because I would be so utterly lost, but I'm fascinated by the concept of the game. Yes. City of Six Moons, alien civilization game in both senses. A solitaire game in which the player guides the destiny of an alien civilization. Excuse me. From an alien civilization, and a game from an alien civilization. Oh, the irony. Thank you, Outrage. I appreciate the subscription. Thank you. Over on Twitch. That's funny. Hold on. I'm trying to read the rest of this for y'all. There we go. Inside the box, you will find the components needed to play the game and a rule book written entirely in symbols and icons. You will need to decipher the game's rules yourself. You will never know whether you've gotten it right or not. No mechanisms are listed on this page. The designer will never answer any rules questions. I mean, it's a fascinating concept, right? I trust Amabel to make it real. But I also know Amabel has a bit of a devious side to her. So, is it real? Yeah, that's, yeah, but no, I'm not streaming that, no. I make a big enough fool of myself I don't need to add on to that. Nikhil says, on the ARC stream, it was a complete triumph. 4 people spent collectively 100 plus hours, including pre-play, and the prep showed. On the game, I 100% agree with Kyle. It was Calvin Ball. Just a lot to take in, especially at third game. At third game, just. Especially because it was fates that we hadn't seen how they interacted. And one of the fates, and I'm intentionally being a little bit vague so that people can watch it. One of them was just dumb. And by dumb, I don't mean it in a negative connotation. I mean just like, right? Matt asks, any interest in restreaming recently played Age of Steam maps? Could be interesting to see how players' tactics change. So there's the dilemma, right? We have, I don't know how many, let me, now I want to go look. Hold on. We have about 60 Age of Steam streams, ballpark. And the question is, where is our time better spent? Revisiting maps or going through new other maps that we haven't gotten to yet? There are 79 videos on the channel for Age of Steam, according to my search, some of which are videos. There are 59 live streams, so about 60. Some of which are multiples of like the base game and stuff and all that. But here's my question for you. Matt asking that question, any interest in restreaming? Sure, there's interest. But what do y'all want to see? That's really what it comes down to. Do y'all want to see new maps? And by new, I don't mean new. Sometimes they are. But there are 230, 240 maps. We have like 200 plus of them in our group. Do y'all want to see maps that we haven't shown? Or do you want to see us revisit maps again? Where do we draw the line on that? Tell me. I'm curious. And Matt brings up a good point. I'm not arguing at all with you, Matt. He says sometimes it seems like it takes a playthrough to fully understand the impact of some of the unique map rules. Yes, Age of Steam is the unique game in that we don't pre-play it before we stream it. Almost without exception. There are very rare exceptions to where people will come into a game that they've never played. We've usually pre-played the game multiple times before we stream it. Age of Steam, we've all played Age of Steam, but we haven't necessarily played that map. There isn't enough hours in a day. You would get half the content if we did it otherwise. So, again, Matt, I understand you're not critiquing. I'm just telling you that that's the one instance in which we don't pre-play games just because it would take too much time. And the nice thing about it is the fact that we don't have to pre-play it. There is going to be one exception, one map, and that's going to be Bahia. That I'm requiring us to pre-play because that is 3 or 4 maps in one. It's insane. I don't think I like it, honestly, but it's insane. But it allows us, we're not really ready to stream X, Y, or Z. All right, let's just play some Age of Steam tonight. That type thing. Oh, God. Chris, love this question. I don't know the answer, but I'll think. Chris asks, a question not related to gaming. If you could travel to one place in the world tomorrow for a week's vacation, all expenses paid, where would you go? Man, it all depends. Depends on the mood, depends who I'm with. Like I would like to go somewhere tropical and just be waited on and like, oh God, there's so much I want to see and do. I want to go to Mexico and travel around Mexico. Although being a gringo, that's probably not a really smart thing to do. I want to eat tacos in every state in Mexico and experience the food. I want to travel all over Europe, experience the food and the different cultures. I want to go on a safari in Africa. I want to see Angkor Wat in Cambodia. I want to go back to Japan as an adult. I was there when I was in the Marines. I was a kid then, so, I want to travel the world. I really do. I want to go to Miniature Wonderland and see the train layout. That's on the bucket list. But all expense paid vacation. Vegas is hard to pass up. And here's why. I can go play poker and I can eat amazing food. Food plays a big part in my life, if y'all haven't noticed. But I forget where y'all ever seen any of those like rental huts out in the middle of the water? Some of those look ridiculously awesome. And just, oh, that'd be nice. So it depends on my mood. I also love the idea of going camping up in the woods or to a cabin up, somewhere in the mountains. I'm less of a beach guy, more of a mountain guy, but I mean, the beach is cool. So yeah, all depends on the mood. Really, really depends on the mood. But that's a good question. How about you, Chris? Where would you go? And yeah, anything Mike Duncan does is amazing, Samuel. He says Mike Duncan's Revolutions is amazing. Again, I told the story. If it weren't for Mike Duncan's History of Rome, Heavy Cardboard doesn't exist. The reason is, when I was working in aviation, which is what I did in the Marine Corps, and then for about a year and a half after 9/11, and I gotten out, I waited tables, because that was it. And then I got back into aviation. Then I went and played poker for a living. Then they took the government took online poker away. So I went back into aviation. And then when it was there, I discovered podcasts. I never heard a podcast before in my life. I listen to music all the time. And y'all know me. I'm a huge history buff. And I enjoy Roman and Greek history. And the first podcast I ever listened to was Mike Duncan's History of Rome. And I think it's 176 episodes. And I was hooked. I listened to it every day at work. And Mike's dry wit and humor, yet storytelling ability while also keeping it historic and interesting I was in awe of that thing. And then that was the impetus of getting me into board game podcasts, and then realizing nobody at the time was really talking about ludology loosely here or there. They would talk about a heavier game, but nobody at the time had a podcast that was doing that. And so that was the impetus. That was the progression of things. And so I am such a huge fanboy of Mike Duncan, and I'm grateful to him for that. So even though he would have no knowledge of any of this, whatever, doesn't care. I've read his book. I'm a huge fan. So yeah, anything Mike Duncan does, I'm interested in. And yes, Jakob, it basically echoes what I just said. He did one on Rome. Yeah, he did one of those podcast things on Rome. He did. Hey, Glenn. repping the love is love, as well as the here you go. You don't see it often, but there you go. By the way, I don't ask for gifts really from y'all often. I do ask for angel investors, which again, thank you to the two that have helped with that. But gift wise, the address to the show's down below. If anybody really wants to make a YouTube / sometimes really the podcasts are there, I promise. Host happy. Somebody wants to surprise me with an authentic Ellie De La Cruz jersey, I'd rock that. I'm just saying. I am such an Ellie fanboy. Oh my God. That kid is everything that's right in baseball. Everything about him. Like, that is the type of dude that kids should emulate, right? Emulate? Is that emulate? Emulate. I think that's it. He's 22, maybe 23 now. He's 6'5", 120 pounds. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but he's a beanpole. But God has blessed him with every possible skill that's possible for a baseball player. He wears a ridiculous amount of jewelry. He wears bracelets galore. He has his jersey half unbuttoned, but he plays with such a joy, and he wants to connect. He wants to be somebody the kids look up to. It's amazing. It's so awesome. Oh God, is he? I don't know where Ellie's from originally. He speaks Spanish. I don't want to guess. He is from the Dominican Republic. That would have been my first guess, but he wanted to learn English so he could do interviews in English, but also so fans can understand him and he can understand the fans. Dude's 23 years old, right? And he does things in baseball that like haven't been done really since Willie Mays. Like, it's just, and he plays with such a reckless abandon and joy that, anyway, Ellie De La Cruz jersey would be awesome. Also 44. But the reason I wanted the Eric Davis jersey, so Jess got me this jersey. So thank you, Jess. The reason I wanted this is it's easy to get a player that might get traded or might get whatever. Eric Davis, he is the reason I'm a Reds fan. And so that's never going to go away. His career was cut short due to injuries. That lacerated kidney didn't help. Or was it spleen? Horrible. And the AstroTurf. But he was my idol growing up. And then Ken Griffey Jr. I've met 3 times. Dude was an asshat every time I met him. That was disappointing. So Eric Davis, like, timeless. Will never not be a fan of his. And honestly, I can't imagine Ellie changing a lot. I mean, he's 23, so the kid's going to grow up. I get it. But he's everything that's right in sports, I feel like. Look, is he going to re-sign with the Reds? Probably not. Boris is his agent. He'll probably go to the Dodgers or the Yankees or whatever. But while he's like, I can just enjoy it. And yeah, it's awesome. I hope I'm wrong. God, I hope I'm wrong. Anyway, Rocky says, by the way, did you see what the Tigers did to them over the weekend? Yes. Reds, go to Yankee Stadium. Sweep the Yankees. Boom. And then come home and get swept by the Tigers? What? And now we've won the first 2 against the Rocks. Just makes no sense. Injuries are just, the offense is so inconsistent for the Reds. But man, Rhys Hines, he's fun to watch the last couple of games. Anyway, sorry. Oh, Sergio said there is a Twitch Turbo, which avoids ads platform-wide. I imagine you got to pay for that, right? Franny, bringing out the obscure. I dig it. Has anyone seen Kalki 2898 AD? Or is planning to go see it? Never heard of it until this moment. It's a 2024 Indian Telugu language epic science fiction film inspired by Hindu scripture. Look, I have closed captioning on everything I watch because I'm going deaf. And so, like, having subtitles on to me is zero issue. So I'm writing this one down. Kalki 2898. By the way, I noticed we lost 10% of our viewers when I was talking baseball. We're going to lose more when I start talking poker. I know, that's fine. All right, Robert. What's up, Bobby? How are you? Says, who do you think is going to win the main event? The WSOP 2024 main event? Somebody you've never heard of? 100%. Who would I like to see win it? Like to see. I mean, there's never going to be another moneymaker. Like what he did, everybody is so indebted to him for that. I mean, do I want to see Negreanu win it? He won the 50K. That's fine. It'd be cool to see Negreanu or Ivy at the final table. I don't care if they win it, but it'd be cool to see them at the final table. I don't want to see Helmuth win it. How sick would it have been to have DePaulo make a deep run? That would have been fun. But I'm worried about Ryan DePaulo after he busted this, after he lost the ACR stuff, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Who do I want to see win it? Don't care, honestly. Just want to watch some entertaining stuff. Hattie asks, when will the next High Frontier for All epic gameplay? If we do it, I'll let you know. Not promising that we are. We will see. Yeah, so it's the ads, y'all. I'm finally catching up to what y'all said. Excuse me. About YouTube versus Twitch. And yeah, it's the rewind function on YouTube. Some people. Okay. Jonathan says the additional Fidelity isn't worth giving more money to Amazon. And yeah, Jakob brings up a good point. Look, the extra Fidelity is nice on Twitch, but it's at 1080 on YouTube, so it's fine. Everything looks fine there. Oh, I'm never going to switch over to just Twitch. Don't worry, that's not in the, no. Yeah, and the conversation is on YouTube, so that's where everybody comes. All that makes sense. All that makes sense. Oh, and other people watch like on Roku and stuff. Which, okay, this is still crazy to me. Like, it's one thing to know that y'all are watching me and us and this on your phone or on your computer. It's crazy to me that we're on TVs. It's the same thing. I understand that. It's a viewing device. It's a display adapter. I get it. It's still different to me when the fact that we're on people's TVs. Because that's TV. That's where TV and movies happen. I'm old. I'm just saying that's still cool to me, even though it's functionally the same thing as a laptop or whatever in that regard. But yeah, like we're on Roku. I mean, Heavy Cardboard's not on Roku, but YouTube's on Roku. So therefore, Heavy Cardboard's on Roku. Like, that's just cool. I'm sorry, that's just cool. Oh, Cosinus over on Twitch. Hi, I see you. I see you. I'm just catching up on chat. Asked what was the one where you make up the language? It's City of Six Moons from Hollenspiel. Yeah, and Amabel is pretty snarky when answering questions for rules, so it wouldn't put me past. I wouldn't put it past her that like the City of Six Moons is just non sequitur. Welcome the luggage. So you just hang around forever, right? Because you never get rid of luggage. Get it? No. Okay. Franny asks, how about new Age of Steam maps on the channel and Age of Steam in depth revisiting old maps as patron streams? I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Franny. If I'm gonna do new types of content like that, why would I want to limit it to the patrons? Like, that's going to bring in new people. Like that, no. And also, like, the patron-only streams, that's bonus content that I don't want public. Whereas, or like the roundtable discussions for sponsored streams. But like, use it good, not good. No, let me rephrase that. Like, things that I don't like, I'm okay with being public. Like, I would want that to be public. So no, I appreciate the thought though. And it, by the way, it seems that that the majority of y'all prefer new maps for Age of Steam and not just revisiting. So. Oh, that's interesting. Rocky says, now that I think about it and I understand why it's off, but if chat were on screen and it showed the cross-platform stuff, I'd probably stay on Twitch. That way you could kind of interact together because you could see it. That's a fair point. It's not going to happen, but that's a fair point. Yeah, wow. That's a bummer, Chris. Says Anchor Wat is great until you see the 7,000 people waiting in line to get in. You think you're in the middle of the jungle and then you realize the cat's out of the bag. Oh, that's, I mean, people suck. It's, all right, yeah. Do you still enjoy Marrakesh? Slice 99 asks. Yes, we just played it the other day. Played it at game day. I reached out to Queen to try and get the expansion. I haven't heard back from Queen. So we'll stream it when we get, if and when we get the expansion. All expenses paid and you choose Vegas. Do you know how expensive it is to do Vegas right? Just saying. Having lived there. Trust me. But like, I don't know. I mean, it would be, yeah. Somewhere warm, but not too warm, and I could cool off. Like the idea of, I'm trying to think. It's not Barbados. It's yeah, just like out in the middle of the South Pacific sounds great, or the mountains. Brianna says, the older I get, the more afraid of flying I become. And I saw a reel of Beryl in Cancun, and yeah, climate change, man. Scary. Fair. I love flying. I always have, always will. But, I mean, it's safer than leaving your house and, like, going anywhere via any other mode of transportation. I say that, and there was that near miss. There's near misses all the time. And, I mean, it happens. Plus, who trusts Boeing these days? No one. Oh, my God. Wow. Chris says, I've been fortunate. I've traveled to 78 countries in my life. My number one regret remaining is Iran, but it's a pain in the butt as an American. Yeah, no, not a place I want to go. But I get that. I feel you, Chris. That's amazing. That's awesome, dude. Republic of Rome, Rocky's asking about. So Liz Davidson has offered to teach me that maybe one day. Maybe. Gladiator 2 is coming out. I just saw part of the trailer. Then I realized a 3-minute trailer shows me too much. I don't want to see that much of the trailer. I don't know. Coming in November. Looking forward to that. Chris says, I would love to see you replace the podcast with live pseudo podcast conversations with people from the group that you just stream live on YouTube and Twitch. We're migrating the podcast over somewhere else to where we're going to be able to be on Spotify. And when we do that, we may have to have people resubscribe. So it doesn't make sense to bring that back now and then have it start back up and then have people resubscribe if we need to. So that's the pause on that. But there's no reason we can't do both. Thank you. Emulates burn. Right. I knew I got that wrong. So one of them. And emulate. There we go. Franny, emulate. Emulate, which sadly does not mean that your antipodian ostrich is not on time. I love you, Franny. That's great. Francis McBee Orzalak says, just wanted to pop on I'm paraphrasing. Just want to pop on to express my gratitude for the fantastic ARC streams. Help me clarify some rules questions I had. Also, could tell how much fun y'all were having even at the end of the marathon. Clearly was crunchy and required a lot of thought towards the end, but you all were clearly having a great time. I also love seeing how tight it could be at the end of a long campaign. So, awesome. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate that. Glad you enjoyed that. By the way, if you haven't already, take a moment and like and subscribe down below. Really, really helps the channel. Please do so. Thank you. A moment. I know I'm not supposed to do this while I'm on stream, but... I'm waiting for an email from the insurance company. Hasn't come through yet. Kurt says, back on the HC Slack, anytime you asked, Rolling Stock Stars was always one of the games people wanted to see stream. Ain't chance of that ever happening. That's possible. It's funny you mentioned that, because when I went through inventorying all the Age of Steam maps that I have, I stumbled on the rules for Rolling Stock mixed in with it, and I was like, huh. So serendipitous that you ask about that. So yeah, that definitely could be a thing, Kurt. Oh, okay. Adonamir over on Twitch says, you don't see ads on Twitch if you subscribe to the Heavy Cardboard channel. Just mentioning, no pressure. Okay, good to know. All right, cool. So there's a reason to subscribe over on the Heavy Cardboard Twitch channel. Although, here's the thing. Here's the thing that like a bone to pick, I guess, with Twitch and YouTube is whenever y'all donate, which is I'm appreciative of, and please, yes, that's awesome. Subscriptions on Twitch, we get 50%. So if you donate $10, we get $5 of it, effectively. On YouTube, whenever you, what is it called? It's show your support, like super chat stuff, right? Which was awesome on the ARC stream, and I'm very, very grateful. And everybody that did it was already a patron. We get 50% of that. We get 90% for this. Patreon. That is a better help for the channel. I'm grateful for the YouTube stuff and the Twitch stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't want to diminish that. But if your sole goal is to help the channel, Patreon. And liking and subscribing, which is free. But if you want to monetarily support the channel, outside of buying new kit for the studio, which again, thank you. Becoming a patron is the best way to do it because we get a higher proportion of that money. So that is a bigger deal. Again, not to diminish the others. I'm just letting you know how the breakdown of that is. Okay. Roberto says, Ed, yes, Ro? Which old game you haven't played and would like to? I mean, define old. I mean, D-Day at Omaha Beach is still the #1. I keep looking over there because we have a number of games in the studio. I think that's the obvious go-to for me. Well, Adonamir, I cannot say that right. Over on Twitch says, yes, in the conversation is usually why I watch on YouTube. I subscribed here just for the extra support. Thank you. It is appreciated. Brianna says, you're on our 75-inch TV. Jakob says, he has to be. You see how tall he is? Although, I mean, to be fair, Kyle and James, both taller than me. Those dudes make me feel short. Yeah, it's crazy that I'm on people's TVs. Oh, that's freakish. Alyssa says maybe someone's watching you on a VR headset right now. Like, how does that even work? Yeah, Zivko says these days a TV is just a computer monitor with an antenna. I get it. No, again, it's a display adapter. I understand that. I'm just saying, it's still weird to me. And awesome. Like that I'm on TV. That's cool. And yeah, and usually people have their phones for the chat. That makes sense. That totally makes sense. If you don't subscribe, a homeless orphan kitten is left out in the woods all alone. Think of the homeless orphan kittens. Please subscribe to Heavy Cardboard. Adonamir says, I'm also a patron, just covering all the bases. You rock. Thank you. That is very appreciated. Or a homeless orphan puppy, if you're a dog person. I'm a cute animal person, right? So, I mean, even your baby hippos are cute. The adults, terrifying. All right, I've caught up with chat. All right, let's go through. I asked for questions in Slack. Some took it seriously. Some followed the directions. Robert, You can only play 3 games for the rest of your life. You can always get the right player count for said games. I mean, Age of Steam's got to be one. What other games? It's got to have a ridiculous amount of replayability. You know what? Give me a deck of cards. Because I can play, obviously I can play poker. I can play any derivative. I can play mixed games. You know, a 9-game mix. You can do whatever you want with that. But also hearts, spades, you know, all of that. So give me a deck of cards. Age of Steam. I don't know about that third one. That third one's hard. What game were you not expecting much from and yet were super impressed? Look, we haven't played it in a very long time, but the game that totally blew my mind was Millennium Blades. So, yeah. So, yeah, Millennium Blades is the one that really, really stands out. And the third question he asked was, when looking at a board game, how important are and how would you rank theme, art, and mechanics or mechanisms? Mechanisms, number 1, far and away, not even close. 2 and 3, I'm not going to say they're not important. If a game doesn't have good mechanisms, I'm never going to be interested in the game. If a game has great mechanisms, number 2 and number 3 aren't required. However, they're both very important, and I would say art would be 2, theme 3. Yet, a compelling theme is going to supersede the artwork. Like the Night Shift game that Franny brought up earlier. That sounds super interesting because of the side that it's coming from. Yeah. So good questions. Good questions. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I would argue it is. Also, I've mentioned this. Hot dog buns, anywhere that isn't New England, I'm convinced they're wrong. They're split on the side. In New England, they're split on the top. So that's how they should be. I disagreed at the beginning, but I'm a believer. I am convinced. Is cereal with milk soup? No, and here's why. Yes, it is something in a liquid. But to me, a soup requires, even if it's a cold soup, it requires, oh, interesting. I was going to say cooking, but gazpacho is a soup, and that doesn't require cooking. But it does require time for the ingredients to meld and derive a deeper, richer flavor. That's what soup is, whether it's hot or cold. And milk, I'm not having that for like the broth. So no, I would argue that cereal in milk is not soup. Everyone's just now being a smartass in Slack. Are there more doors or wheels in the world? I think there are more doors. Do the different colors of the pre-stream Patreon list mean anything? I asked Elk to unpack that. Before the stream, when the Patreon names scroll through, oh, it's 3 lists with different colors and scroll speed. Does that mean anything? I am shocked that nobody has asked this question. Or maybe y'all know. What do you think? Is there a reason for it? And what do you think the differences are? I will circle back to answer that. But I'm curious. Nobody has asked that. I've been wondering, waiting for someone to ask that. And yes, there is. But I'm curious what y'all think. Is water wet? It's probably too much work, but based on this chart, where do you think people... I was going to answer it, but then I realized y'all on the stream can't see it, so I'm not going to answer it. I might in Slack. Bevro asks, when will the Golden Elephant winner be presented? We will do that in August. Right now, Fowler is out on vacation. So when we can get everybody together, we're going to do a big roundtable discussion like we've done in years past. So, August. Eric asks, what's the Bart story? I'll when I talk poker later on, I will talk about that. Simon asks, Toi? I mean, if somebody brings it, I don't own it. I'd be willing to play it and stream it again. Ever thought of creating an HC app? Absolutely not. That thought has never crossed my mind until I read that question. Consolidate all the patron streams, teaching notes, top lists, house rules. Could be included in the patronship, for others chargeable. No. None of that sounds like something I would ever want to invest time and effort in. I'm sorry, but thank you, Simon. Possibility for a campaign of Lord of the Rings living card game. Don't own it, never seen it, know of it. Maybe, if I were to ever get it. Maybe. After Matt asks, after Mr. President in the ARCS campaign, D-Day at Omaha Beach should be easy, right? Well, easy to stream, not easy to win. I'm gonna make it happen, damn it. Matt asks, and I'm gonna throw this out to any other group that's currently watching, as well as all of y'all watching. Favorite 2-player Age of Steam maps? I know Age of Steam is so much better at higher player counts, but both my family and our other gaming friends have younger kids, so game group nights don't happen as often as we'd like. Really enjoy the Age of Steam streams, looking for any excuse to get it to the table. So I know John's been playing a lot of Age of Steam with Jackie, so I guess John and Jackie have been playing a lot of Age of Steam together. And any of y'all, I haven't played that many 2-player maps, so I don't think I'm a good judge of that. What do y'all think for best 2-player maps? All right. That's all the questions. Yes. Tom and Nan, totally get the sentiment. It blows your mind about TV viewers. It really does. It's just, I mean, yeah, it's cool. Rolling stock, Gary says. I would like to second that. Okay, noted. And Mr. President. So I was told I was going to get a second edition. I don't have it yet. So Warrior Knights, John Company 2, Talisman, and Weimar. Okay, noted, Marcus. Rocky says, had 2 hot dogs at the ballpark on Monday. First in like 9 years. Hot dogs are great. Like, it's not an everyday, all the time thing. But a hot dog at a ballpark is special. It just is. It just is. Really hit the spot. See, that's what I'm saying. John says, everything's either a soup, a sandwich, or a Wellington. Corn dog, Wellington. Brianna says, I thought it was patron level. It is not. Chris also thought so. So did Sergio. Steele says, so if I leave cereal in my fridge for a few hours, does it become a soup? I would argue yes, but not one I would ever want to eat. Rocky says either level or tenure. It's based on 18XX colors. Alyssa nailed that. Yes. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe it should be by tier. It's not, but maybe I should. God, that would make my life so much easier. I think it might change to that now that I'm thinking of it. Huh. Chris says, Fowler said he might come to Age of Steam Con this year. You gonna make an appearance, Edward? I can get you free lodging if you're interested. See, that makes it compelling. That is a possibility, because lodging's expensive. Tell me again when it is, Chris. They were bracketed, and the reason brought up before I didn't watch the stream. Yeah. John says cereal's totally a soup. I disagree. Oh, Joker says catching back up to live. Edward, slowing from double speed to normal speed is always jolting. Yeah. I watched some videos at like 1 1/4, 1.5. I don't know how y'all watch double speed. I can't, no, at anything. But I've heard me at 1.5 speed sounds like John from John Gets Games. I kind of hear it. Kind of. St. Lucia and Sicily, both good at 2 players. Aegis theme maps. Scotland, Jamaica, Seattle Metro, which I played solo. New England and Alban Villard's Mexico were good. There you go. There's a bunch of good 2-player maps, apparently. Matt says Seattle Metro's good at 1, 2, and 3. I know it's good solo. Oh, Spirit Island. I just need to pull the Band-Aid off and do it. You know what? I'll do it this month. How's that? Okay? I'll do Spirit Island, at least the base game, this month. Plus, I imagine Paul would like his game back. Oh, Age of Steam Con is the same weekend as Lobster Trap, Shrey says, which is our local one here. Hey! Jade McNally, thanks for the follow over on Twitch. See, they do exist. It's not by tier. No, it's by tenure. Yes. 5 years and longer, 2 years and longer, and not in shorter. Friday, this is heavy cardboard. We don't do the easy thing. That's fair. So yeah, it's by tenure, but I think it makes more sense to do it by tier. It totally does. Huh. Yeah, that might be changing. So now you're going to have to go and find your name again. So there's that. Yep. Yep, Rocky nailed it. There you go. All right. So any other board game questions? Because if not, I'm going to pivot into poker talk and half y'all can leave. Let me see. What time is the Reds game today? Anybody know? Is it a night game? Oh, it is a night game. All right. Because there's no getaway day for the Reds because the last 3 games are at home as well. So 7:10 start. All right, cool. Cool. All right. Oh, there were questions on Facebook. What? Really? Shoot. I didn't look. Let me look. A moment. What's up, Jaden? He says, hello from Manchester. So I'm going to just assume it's Manchester, England, and that's not Manchester, New Hampshire. Just going to go out on that limb. Oh, shoot. I need to make sure that I can... A moment. Oh, no! Messed that up. Sorry. Forgot. Can't use the number pad when I'm streaming. You would think I would know this stuff by now. Oh, good. I can. Yay. Oh, God. There are. Wow. I'm not used to... Wow. There are like 4. All right. Let's see. Rudy over on Facebook asks, what's a game you've played that you found has the most interaction, the most glory to Rome inducing, bordering on nasty? Wait, bordering on nasty or nasty? Emma won't play Barrage or Kalis with me anymore. I mean, Brides and Bribes was pretty fantastic. That is definitely up there. But let's see. I mean, Intrigue comes to mind for sure. Hi, Shrey. I'm trying to think, like, the interaction, like any kind of negotiation type game would have that. But yeah, let's go with that list. That feels pretty good. But intrigue is just straight nasty. Hi, Shrey. Let's see, Jonas. What are your 3 favorite Age of Steam maps of all the ones that you've streamed? Excuse me while I go look these up. Am I allowed to say the heavy cardboard map? Because how about that gets honorable mention? Soul Train, because I think it's such a fascinating concept. I don't think it's the best map. But from a theme and concept idea, Soul Train's got to get mentioned in there. I'm literally going through them, so give me a moment. I mean, the moon's still got to be up there. It's just insane, but great. Yeah, all right. I've mentioned at least 3. So let's go with those. That's hard to do. Scott asks, are there any games that are not well thought of below 7.0 on BGG that you think could be helped with a rules tweak, a retheme, or just better marketing? Oh, that is a great question. Wow. Below a 7.0 on BGG. All right. Masters of Venice. That definitely is going to be one. Quebec barely missed the cut. It's 7.1. That would definitely be in the conversation. I'm trying to think of... like, games that I think are great. Craftsman is another. 6.6. That's a pretty decent starting list, I would say. Right there. Yeah, there you go. Vegard asks, what theme that has not yet made it into a board game, or at least not a well-known one, would you like to see in a board game? Trading in the Mediterranean? I don't know. That one is so... I mean, literally, the entire world is an option. Everything that can be thought of is an option. And yeah, I don't know. That's hard. I'll run that question to y'all. What theme would y'all love that like either isn't out there or is just barely out there? I think the and I apologize, the forgetting the name. It's the Hollandspiel one about the spoons and the coming back from a brain injury. That was amazing to me. I love that. Franny says tenure is better. Tier is based on how much money you can give. Poor person, it's nice to see get to the top for once. Okay, that's a fair point, Franny. One requires time, the other requires money. I mean, technically, they both require money, but you get what I mean. $5 a month. Right. Okay. Bushman asks for more solo streams. Okay. We could do that. Chris says Duck Dealer is 6.3. I think that could easily be tweaked to be a bit better to make it super popular. All right, heading forward. That's it, John. Thank you. The cost, the asbestos mining. That game taught me that asbestos is a naturally occurring thing. I had no clue. I thought it was a man-made thing. Totally did. So yes, I like the idea of a game that makes you take. I like the idea of a theme of a game that makes you make uncomfortable choices in real-world situations. I would like to see more on the nose theming of that. Take Village. Time is a resource in Village, and your workers die. It's the progression of life. We're all going to die at some point. But it does so in a way that, killing this worker, it trivializes it in that it's just points. Still a pretty cool idea. And then you have the cost to where you have a choice. Do I kill workers or do I for profit or not? Salton Sea kind of in a not direct way does that same thing. I want to see a game that takes that head on, that just says straight up, kind of like how, look, John Company, you're not good people. Everything about what you do in this game is just not good. I want a game that kind of deals with that directly from a business standpoint. If y'all haven't seen the movie Dark Waters, I recently saw that, and that is pretty profound. That Teflon and non-stick surfaces like that, how horrible they are for humans. Really freaked me out. And the fact that the movie's pretty recent, and the fact that DuPont just had fines levied against them this year about this stuff that started back in the 80s. Make me make really agonizing real world decisions like that. And I would like to see a game that makes you very uncomfortable in that regards. That's what I'm asking for. I'm not saying it's going to be a big seller, but yeah, I like that. Here's one, the original theme of Coffee Traders. It was, instead of coffee, it was about dealing with cocaine back around during World War I, and how the Dutch were big traders on both sides of the cocaine trade during the war. That would be interesting. I was gonna say cool, but cool from a really unique, interesting theme. I like really edgy stuff like that. The Hollenspiel game I was referring to about the brain injuries called Heading Forward. Shrey says, I'd be curious to see a sports theme game that isn't dexterity, doesn't rely on a heavy luck component, and isn't a ton of stats and tables. Yeah, so I love like out of the park baseball. Way back in the day, I used to love the idea of that game. As much as I'm looking forward to the new NCAA the EA Sports college football game, which I'm really looking forward to. It's my dream job. No one asked. My number one all time since I've been a little kid. Yeah, I wanted to play baseball, but once I realized I'd ruined my shoulders and or in my elbow, I was never going to play baseball. I wanted to be a GM. And the idea of being a GM, I would love to have a game that simulates that. That would be another theme. But now, like, all the sports games are about playing the game, not about running a team. That is what's fascinating to me. Make it solo. I'm fine with that. Yeah, Chris says every soccer or football game seems to be appealing for like 10 seconds. Yeah. So, I get that. Anyway. There you go. That's all those questions over on Facebook. Good call, Shrey. Thank you for that. Right. Poker time. So, no matter what I say or think, for the foreseeable future, I am foreboding to go play poker on a weekend. The stats just back it up. They just do. I don't know what it is about anything past, like I'm willing to go Friday during the day up into the evening, but somehow Friday evening through Monday morning, poker's off limits. Not allowed to go play. Monday through Friday. Oh, hey, Victory Point Gaming. Rating. Hey, wow. Hey, you're just in time to move past the board game talk into poker talk. I apologize. So yeah, no, we've been here. How long have we been streaming now? About 2 hours. So there's that. So we've had a lot of board game talk, a lot of Q&A, a lot of back and forth. But now transitioning onto poker stuff. So for those that don't know, Bart Hansen, he runs Crush Live Poker. He used to co-host Live at the Bike, co-host / commentate Live at the Bike way back in the day, like in the 2000s. And I used to watch it back then, and I was actually on an episode of Live at the Bike. I look nothing like what I look like now. It was 2006, 2007, 2008. I think it was 2008 I was on the show. And it was quite the episode. Yeah, Sonny Leone and another porn star were in the booth. Like they were guests. And so Bart Hansen lives somewhere around here now, somewhere in the Boston area. And he goes and plays at Encore on occasion. And he went to Chasers the other day. And he sat down in a 1-3 game, which Bart Hansen normally plays 5-10 and higher. So that struck me as... So I made the joke when I saw you walk in and he was on the table next to me. I was like, what are you doing slumming it at 1-3? And he's like, oh, I just need content for the podcast. And so eventually I moved over to the table he was at because my game was terrible. And early on, he's in the 8 seat. Another reason Chasers is better than Encore. Here's all the reasons Encore sucks, I guess. $12 rake. Then they have moved us into what feels like a closet. It's terrible. Management actively hates poker players. Not poker management, but Encore management does. They don't allow bomb pots. They don't allow anything other than an under-the-gun straddle. No fun. Can't play the stand-up game or net game or anything like that. You're not allowed to run it more than once. All of those reasons. Right. And it's 9-handed. Chasers, on the other hand, only has 13 tables. The highest game they routinely have for no-limit players is 1-3. They occasionally have a 2-5 game. But at least the 1-3, you buy them for 500. That's the same at both places. Every dealer change is a double board bomb pot. And the winner, when they're on the button, can request another bomb pot if they so desire. 8-handed tables. And yeah, they're in more comfortable chairs. So, and a lower rake. So that's why I play at Chasers now. Anyway, so there was a hand that I got involved with Bart that I have no idea how to have played it right. And I'm not going to go into the details of the specific hand because 99% of y'all don't care. I get that. But yeah. Oh, wait, let me see that. Who is that? That is Kimma says over on Twitch, casinos, you go in, make your donation, and you leave. I beg to differ on that. I don't play casino games. I'm what I guess you would call a plus EV or an advantage player in that I only play poker, and I'm pretty good at it. I used to play for a living, and I think I'm better now than I was back then. But anyway, I only play 1-3 and 2-5 nowadays because I do it for a second income. I need to, honestly. I need more money than what Heavy Cardboard provides. But also, I do it for fun. It is the thing, my hobby. That is entirely. No, I play poker. So I'm just playing against the other players. So it's not like at blackjack where people can count cards. But so Chasers is the weirdest place. It is apparently a charity gaming thing. So they're in a former Chinese restaurant. If you were to like look at it from the outside, if you Google Chasers, Salem, New Hampshire, it looks like an old Swiss like chalet like restaurant or a Chinese. It used to be a Chinese restaurant. You walk in, pretty low ceilings, which is weird anyways, but they have 13 poker tables. Then they have table games. They have blackjack, which they have weird blackjack, but they do pay 3-2 as opposed to 6-5. So that's good. But they have three roulette tables and other weird table games that I don't know. I don't play any of them. Never have. And it's crazy. Guys will take breaks from playing poker. They'll leave their stack there and then they'll go walk and like throw chips down at the roulette table. And I'm like, if you're a poker player, you understand math and you understand odds. Why are you playing roulette? You're an idiot. It's negative EV. Why? I don't say this. It's the thought process. Another interesting thing about Chasers is you get a lot of young kids in there. It's 18 and older there. And so the other day, it was Monday night I was there, and a bunch of college-age kids came in, and it was just a whole herd of them. And we're all older, sitting at the table, and such an old man thing. And I was like, the kids are coming in, they're such dude bros. All of them were all dude bros, every one of them. And I look at the dealer, who I've become kind of like acquaintance friends, like I'm a regular there now, so whatever. And I'm like, did we all look that douchey when we were kids? And he was like, oh yeah, totally, we were. Yeah, just differently. And I was like, all right, that's fair. But he did tell me something that once I tell you, you're not going to be able to unsee. And it's hysterical, at least to me. So y'all know the hairstyles nowadays, right? For the kids, like it's the big poofy. It's not froze. It's just bigger hair, right? It seems all the kids are wearing their hair like that. And he's like, have you ever seen an alpaca after it's been sheared? It just has that poof of hair. And I'm like, I can't unsee it now. So every time I see these groups of kids, that come in, like they're walking around, even when they have the hats on, just a herd of alpacas to me. And it's just kills me. Just kills me. Anyway. Have a good one, Chris. Oh, no argument that roulette and craps theoretically are fun. They don't have craps, by the way, which I don't know why that rule is there. I'm going to ask them when I go. I may go later today, in fact, when we're done here, since I'm still waiting for an email that I haven't gotten. So there you go. Alyssa says, I know it's losing money, but it's an entertainment expense. As long as you come at it that way, then that's fine. Sure, I get that. The dopamine hit rather than the EV. That's fair. That's fair. It's the messy, I just got out of bed, but like this, but really I spent 15 minutes gelling my hair. Hey. Llama hair. Yeah, a pompadour. Yeah, they really is, yes. But like fuzzier. Not like, but yeah. Yeah, it's llama hair. 100%. I'm telling you, like, hold on. You know what? No, hold on. All right. Oh my God, this is so good. This is so good. Okay, hold on. You know what? It brings me joy. And okay. Look, I'm just saying. Oh God, I gotta convert it. All right. It's worth it though. It's fine. It's totally worth it. And this is not, look, we had some really bad hair. I get it. Like we parachute pants, people. I get it. Okay? Right? Or the whole crisscross thing, which I never did, but look, kids do dumb stuff in fashion and whatever. It is not cooperating. It is not converting. Can we download? There we go. Save. There we go. Okay. So hold on. For those that don't know. Okay. So that is basically what every kid, their hair, it seems. But you're telling me can't unsee it. Can't unsee it. And it was just a lot of them. But yeah, that totally. Just. Scott Dog Gaming asks, tech question. How do you stream, camera, lights, audio, etc.? You figure it out. It takes a lot of trial and error and a lot of work. I don't share that stuff. Lots of states ban dice games. Yet, cards, it makes no logical sense to me, but okay, Alyssa. Broccoli hair. Also fair, Elk of Legend. I like that. Oh, that's hysterical. Alyssa says, I've seen places that play craps by shuffling a deck of cards and flipping it over to see if it's a 2 or a 12. Yeah, God, that's gross to me. No, but I get it. Miguel says, hi, Edward. Thanks for doing the whole ARCS campaign streams. I'm so happy you did this. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Kimma said, in the 80s, I had the weird neon in sunglasses with the lenses that went up and they were just clear lenses. Such a weird style. Yeah, I mean, look, I get it. Well, that's insane. Alyssa says my first gambling experience was 20-year-old Casino Niagara at a craps table where a guy didn't roll a 7 for an hour. Went from $100 to $4,000 in 60 minutes. That's insane. I am the human cooler. Casinos should hire me to just go and walk by. Have you ever seen the movie The Cooler? That's me. I am the human cooler when it comes to craps tables. That's why I don't bet on dice. I'm terrible. I am the human cooler. So, yeah. And they're talking about like total, mohawk. I did like the faux hawk thing a few years back, but I think this works. I think this. But yeah, anyway. So, as I said, I am forbidden to go Friday nights, anytime on Saturday, or anytime on Sundays for the foreseeable future. Because I'm consistently just terrible on those days. I don't know why. I run bad. And apparently I play bad too. So, yeah, no. But during the week, absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, the other day, played really, really well. Ran it up to like, I don't know, about 1700 off a $500 buy-in at 1-3. I lost a $1,400 bomb pot. I was only going to win half of it. A double board bomb pot where I flop trips on one board and 2 pair on another and boated up on one of them. And then a guy 2-outed me on the river. And so I got scooped like I didn't. It was between 2 others. Anyway, and I still walked out of there plus 1,100. So that was good. That felt good. It was the day I got the haircut. So it's all about feeling good, getting in the right mindset, and just being patient. I notice on the weekends I'm less patient and I'm more gambly, and that's not good for me. That's not the way I play. I can be a bit laggy, which is good, which is loose and aggressive. But I tend to not rein that in on the weekends is what I'm noticing. So yeah. Do I think it could be that there's a difference in the skill level of the players that affects my expectations on the weekends versus during the week? It's a good question, Jonathan. No, because even when I go like on a Monday morning or a Monday afternoon, or a Wednesday afternoon, evening, which is what today's going to be, you typically hear about the OMCs or the old man coffees, meaning you have the retirees that are there to read their paper, drink their coffee, and only play aces and kings. That's not my experience, whether I play at Encore or Chasers. They're just really bad players. A lot. There are some very good players that I play against, but I tend to, for some reason, we bump heads more than we should. Like, it's like you don't see lions attacking lions when there's other game to go after. Yet, it seems like that happens more than it should. And what I mean by that is the other good players, you tend to stay out of each other's way, or at least you should, theoretically, and then go after the softer players. You just make more money that way. However, I see poker as storytelling, and every hand is a story that you're telling. Every hand of Hold'em, starting from pre-flop to the very end, to the river, you're telling a story in what it is in your actions. So whether you limp, whether you raise, whether you whether you check, whether you bet, whether you check raise, whatever. And not only all those things, but the sizings within that. You're telling a story. And what I have found is against good players, they understand the story that you're telling. They're literate in that regard. And you start going levels, right? And I enjoy, one of my favorite things in poker is just outplaying people. And that gets me into trouble sometimes because you start getting into a leveling war and then it becomes a very big guessing game and an ego-driven thing at times. And that doesn't help your bottom line. Whereas against bad players, value bet until their eyes bleed. Bet in spots that make sense, but never try and make bad players fold big hands. They didn't come to the casino to fold big hands. Oh, it's obvious that I'm playing this hand like I have a flush or a straight. It's obvious. You should fold your pocket aces or kings. They don't. So don't try and make them do that. Instead, bet way, way bigger than you think you should when you have those hands, because they're not going to fold. And that helps your hourly. Plus, bomb pots. Double board, hold'em bomb pots. People play horrendously bad. Horribly bad. And you can just print money. How a bomb pot works, I assume you all understand how Texas Hold'em works. Bomb pots are, everyone puts in $15 before the flop. You are allowed to sit out, and the button doesn't move after this hand. So everyone puts in $15, 8 players, so you're looking at $120 in the pot. Then the dealer deals out your 2 cards, and then deals out 2 boards, 2 flops, 3 cards each. And then there's a round of betting, and then the turn, a round of betting, the river, round of betting. And then whoever wins the top board wins half the pot. Whoever wins the bottom board wins half the pot. If you win both boards, you win the whole pot. If you're the only player with cards left at the end, you win the whole pot. Players overvalue very weak holdings and get too committed to just one board or the other. Excuse me. You don't have to say what board you're playing. You just table your hand, and if you win them both, great. You win them both. People just play them really bad, and there's a lot of strategy involved in it, and the way to manipulate the betting in that. But yeah, they're so good, and the fact that you play 2 of them every down, meaning every half hour, you play 2 bomb pots, so it's $60 an hour to play in the bomb pots. So think about that. If you're playing 2 bomb pots an hour and you don't win for 3 hours, you're out $180 just in bomb pots. So you better be able to win some money in the bomb pots to be able to offset that. But people play them so badly, they're hugely profitable, even though they're $60 an hour. So anyway. Am I ever going to run another campaign of Mr. President? Jerry asks. Probably. Yep. Have you caught wind of World Order from the same guys that made Hegemony? Yes, they've reached out. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm really enjoying playing poker. And I'm curious. Let me look at this. Best days of the week. I know Sunday's my worst day. I know that. But... oh, no. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All good days. Break even on Saturday, but that's one session because I normally just don't go on Saturdays because we have game day. Yeah. Interesting. Anyway. Who is that elk that you're talking about? I don't think so. No, they didn't. Oh, yeah, no, not for that. So, yeah, anyway, that's a wrap. That's where we're at today. What do we got coming up this week? Let me look. It's smaller. It is a truncated week because honestly, most of the guys that that did the streams for Arts, they were like, I'm gonna take the week off, and that's cool. So we're gonna do tentatively a top 10 this week, and also Age of Steam is going to be Friday night. It's gonna be a 4-player map. What map? Don't know. We'll figure that out here in a little bit. But yeah, Age of Steam on Friday, so 7 p.m. then. And probably a top 10 before then. So there we go. IV Studios. Gotcha. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I am going to take care of Lincoln, do some other stuff. Since my email didn't come in, we are not going to the RMV. We are going to go play cards instead. So, okay. There's that. Let's see. Where is a good place for me to mention it? I might do it on Twitter. I'm probably in Slack, actually. Slack's probably the best place. So if you're a patron, you'll hear about today's session. I might give updates throughout. If you were so interested, go check that out. You can join the Slack channel by becoming a patron, patreon.com/HCHQ. But the thing that I really, really ask that everybody does, please like and subscribe. Every video you watch, whether it's ours or someone else's, like and subscribe. If you dig their content, obviously, and hopefully you do dig ours, so like and subscribe. It really, really does help. So certainly appreciate it. All right. Y'all have a great rest of your day. I'll see y'all either tomorrow or Friday night for sure. Yeah, I'll see y'all. Everybody, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the weather, and if it's still barreling down on you, be safe, and I hope not too much rain for y'all. All right, take care, everybody.